Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today we're going to pick up one of my all-time favourite cheap cars. I'm not being sarcastic either, I do genuinely rate these. It's a 2006 Peugeot 107, which is exactly the same as the Citroën C1, and also the Toyota Aygo. They're just really honest, decent little things. You can't go wrong with them. And they make perfect first cars too, because they rarely go wrong, and when they do, they're not expensive to fix. Parts are cheap, they're very economical, the road tax is cheap. From 2012 the road tax is completely free, and crucially, insurance is cheap. Now I've paid just £500 for this car, so I'm convinced there's some profit in it for me. Like I say, it's a 2006, but most importantly, it's only done, can't quite remember off the top of my head because I've bought lots of cars recently, less than 30,000 miles anyway, 26 or 27,000 miles. So I'm convinced there's some profit. I haven't actually seen this car yet, but I'm told it's red, which is now kind of a pinky colour, apparently. Lovely. So I expect it'll need a good buff or possibly some paint. What else do I know about it? Oh, it's a 5-door and it comes with both sets of keys. We're on to a winner, aren't we, already? I suppose then we better go and have a look, hadn't we? Who else is excited? I am. Genuinely. See you there. Well, the weather's certainly taken a turn for the worse, but here I am in my little Peugeot 107. And, I mean, when I show you the exterior in a second, you'll think I've lost the plot, but I'm actually really pleased with it. It's a prime example of a car looking far worse than it actually is. The front bumper's now sort of a dusty pink colour, as is the rear bumper. We're missing a wheel trim, but fundamentally, it's quite a strong car, this. Granted, it's 18 years old. Can you believe that? 18 years old. But it's only done 30,000 miles. So it is a little bit higher than I was told, but things get lost in translation, don't they? I did say I'd bought several cars recently. I couldn't quite remember. I'm sure I was told 28, but I'm not going to split hairs. It just drives really well. I mean, they do anyway, but my clutch is nice and light. Everything works, even my air conditioning, which is ice cold. I couldn't believe it, to be honest. And this sounds a bit weird now, but my hazard light switch here, on these cars of this era, they always seem to crack. This one hasn't. It's odd, isn't it, the things that I get excited about these days. Anyway, we've got a free phone holder, so that's good news, isn't it? And we've got some sort of hot lemon Chinese drink. Very good. We've got electric windows, ×2. No, it's a decent thing, this. I can just tell. But it is a little bit grubby. The inside stinks of dog, and I mean stinks. I think there's been a dog living in it, to be fair. So the lads at the valeters won't exactly welcome me with open arms when they see it, but I'll have to drop it and run. What I need to do with this then is give it a service and a clean MOT. There's loads of service history with it, which is a good start. I need to order a wheel trim. I could order just 4, non-genuine ones, but it's quite a genuine little car, this. So I think I'll try and order just one, just the one that I need for that near side front wheel. That'll be about 15 quid, I imagine. I'll order a fresh set of plates for it because it is crying out for a pair. A very good valet, fresh set of mats, oh, and the paint. So front and rear bumper paint, that's going to cost me 150 a bumper, I suppose, so 300 quid there. I think I paid 500 quid for this car. It's going to owe me about £1,000, isn't it? But then I'm convinced I'll double my money. This is the perfect first car for somebody, so I just know it'll sell. I've done this in slightly the wrong order today, but I shall try and make it work. Ever the professional. I mean, there's no wear on anything. Everything's as it left the factory. Apart from all the dog hairs, obviously. I know I probably shouldn't get excited about these cars, but they're really good little things. Albeit not the quickest, but still, adequate. This weather is absolutely rubbish today, and I haven't brought my jacket. Didn't think I needed one this morning. When I left lovely rural Cheshire this morning in my SL55, it was bright blue skies and sunshine. And now look at it. Every morning, when I do my commute, as soon as I hit Stockport, it's like the Addams Family house. There's always a grey cloud hanging over it. I just think it's about right, isn't it, really? Everything's always grey and washed out. Anyway, I shall try and brave the rain for you, because I'm a soldier, and I'll soldier on. I'm going to park up in this little lay-by and give you a quick tour of the exterior. Here we go. Take shelter by the trees. As always then, before I agreed to buy this car, I did a vehicle history check using Car Vertical. Now it's really easy to do. All you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the reg or the VIN. May as well knock the engine off here. And it's just told me everything I could possibly wish to know about the car. So in this case, it's never been stolen, never been written off, there's no mileage discrepancies, and there's no outstanding finance, which you would hope not, wouldn't you, on a 18-year-old car like this? But as I've learned from this job, you should never assume. If you want to do one of these checks for yourself, by the way, and I urge you to do so before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike, then use my promo code HIGHPEAK for 20% off. That's 20% off each and every check that you do, not just a one-time thing. You can use it as many times as you like. Alternatively, you can click the link below in the video description. But as you can see here, it shows all the MOT history, which is all pretty good. I will have to get one done though. It's told us about the ownership changes. It's all very good actually. It's all clear. And what's clever about Car Vertical is that it isn't just a UK thing. It checks databases in 35 different countries and it checks hundreds of millions of cars. So thanks Car Vertical for sponsoring today's video. And thank you for avoiding me buying a complete lemon. Right, let me give you a quick tour then of the exterior. So as you can see then, the inside is pretty much as you'd expect really. It's all in decent condition. It does need a set of mats though, because as you can see, I don't think it's ever had them. So that's another £12, £15 perhaps off eBay. But we've got both sets of keys and it is quite clean. I mean, there's no rips or there's no damage anywhere. Headline is nice and clean. I can just visualize this when it's all done. And it will make quite a nice car really. That isn't broken. Now that often breaks. The handle always snaps off. But it's nice and solid. Moving to the back, you can just see the odd dog hair. And it does reek. It stinks of dog. So I'm going to have to let off one of those Air Vidox odour bomb things. That should do the trick. But the headrests aren't missing. They're there, present and correct. Now let me show you the exterior then. So as you can see, it just looks a bit sorry for itself, doesn't it? The back bumper's all dusty and unloved. It's got the original Peugeot plates, but I'll replace those with High Peak Autos ones, I think. The tyres are all pretty good. Got plenty of tread. We're missing a parcel shelf, so we'll have to order one of those as well. But yeah, I think once Jimmy's painted the back bumper and the front, let me show you that, we've got a decent car. I mean, look at the colour difference between that door and that bumper. It's laughable, isn't it, really? I just don't think it's ever been cleaned, really. Up front, we've got a... I don't even know, I can't even pronounce that brand. Laufen. Oh, we've got matching Laufens. That's a result, isn't it? That was me worrying. So up front, the front bumper is pretty much just like the back, although we've got some lacquer peel as well. So that can be repainted. Like I say, I'm hoping 300 quid's worth of paint. Maybe buff the headlamps as well, maybe 325. And we've got a car. Police just going past. What I'm doing doesn't look suspicious at all, does it? It's amazing how bad a car looks when it's missing a wheel trim. But as I say, it's got genuine trim, so I'll try and match that. I'm sure there'll be one on eBay knocking about. It's just a really dirty looking thing, isn't it? Down this side, it's quite straight, and we've got... Have we got more Laufens? Oh, we don't. Sorry to disappoint you guys. We've got a Hankook on that side. And round here, we've got a... Oh, another Laufen. Phew. So that's about it. You might wonder why I'm getting so excited about an 18-year-old Peugeot 107, but they just sell really well. And I do quite like them. So that's about it, I think. I'm going to run this down now to my mechanics, get them to service it, MOT it. In the meantime, I'll order some mats, a parcel shelf, some plates. What else? I think that's it, isn't it? I think that's it. Mats, parcel shelf, plates. Right, once it's done at my mechanics, then I need to take it down to Jimmy, get him to work his magic. And we've got a genuine little retail car there. I know it's a little bit old, but they don't go wrong. So as long as it passes its MOT and it isn't, you know, rotten underneath, we should be all right. So I shall catch up with you in a few days' time. A few weeks' time, actually. Let me be real. A few weeks' time. I'm going to get out of here before I'm arrested for curb crawling or something. I'll see you in a bit. And we're back in my cheap little Peugeot 107. And you know what, guys, I've done plenty of these videos, like hundreds of them, and I can't remember the last time there was such an impressive transformation. Do you remember how this looked at the start of the video? I mean, of course you do, it was only 2 minutes ago, but for me it was about 3 months ago. It was a mess. It looked a right state. And now look at it. This car really belies its age. You'd never know it was an 18-year-old car. It drives really well, it's as tight as a drum, and it looks good too. Now then, let me try and remember what happened. So after we last spoke, this was months ago, because of this car's low value, it just hasn't been a priority for me to sort out. So it's just been pushed to the back burner every single time. So after we last spoke, I took it down to my mechanics, as I always do, for a service and an MOT, and also a new rear wiper arm, because I think that was missing. It was either missing or broken, I can't quite remember. You'll know more than I do. This is weird, isn't it? Like an interactive video. Whenever I drop a car off at my mechanics, I never really know whether it's going to get condemned or it'll just need an oil and filter, and that's that. This was the latter. My mechanic called me up a couple of days later and said, oh, that little 107's done. It's quite a nice thing, really. Result. Back of the net. So at that point, when I realised it wasn't completely rotten and condemned to the big scrapyard in the sky, I went onto eBay and ordered a matching wheel trim. Now I found one for, I think, 15 quid. Which you might think is quite expensive for one wheel trim, because you could get a set of new ones for 20. But I think, well, I always think it looks better with its genuine trims. So that was that. Then in the meantime, I've had several broken cars. I've had to lend cars to customers. Now we've got 3 courtesy cars. We don't need to provide any, but I just think it kind of softens the blow of having a breakdown, doesn't it? If I can then say, well, there's a little IGO there that you can use. So we've got 3 courtesy cars. We've had lots of broken cars. So I taxed up this one, because it was only, well, 20 or 30 quid. It was a few months ago. I taxed up this and lent it to, well, to several people. So it's now done another 160 miles, but it's been fine. So when it finally came back, I fitted some new reg plates. They cost me £15, and I think you'll agree I've totally lifted the car. Then, the biggest transformation really was Jimmy. I took it down to Jimmy, my painter, aka Jimmy the Magician, and he's transformed it. I asked him to paint the front and rear bumpers, but in addition to that, he's also done the bonnet and various other bits, and it looks mint. He's done a really good job. But again, he's always busy, so whenever I had a more expensive car that was more urgent, this again just got pushed to the back of the queue. But 2 days ago, he finally sent me a picture of it, all done and dusted. So from there, it went to Tameside Detailing for a full clean, and here we are, job done. It's only taken me about 3 months and £1,000. Winner, winner. Right, so what we're going to do then is, oh actually no, I'm jumping the gun here, aren't I? I've got this advertised for, you might think this is greedy, but I don't think it is. I've got it advertised for £2,995, which sounds dear, doesn't it, for an old car? But it's only done 30, it looks mint, it drives mint. It will do somebody for the first car, won't it? I'm sick of stuck in traffic like this. A Snapper Rocks BMW 4 Series there. What was I saying then? Yes, so £2,995. If I can sell it for £2,995, I'm pretty sure I'll make a £1,200 profit margin. Which is excellent, isn't it? Let me go to my usual spot then, near my new bin, and I'll talk you through my costs. They were substantial though, but I mean, if I can make that sort of profit, well worth doing. And here we go, then there's my new bin. Can you remember how much I paid for this? Was it 500 quid? Should really write this stuff down, shouldn't I? Going off-road here. There we go. Let me get my calculator out then. So I paid £500 for it, I think. The bill at my mechanics was MOT test fee, oil filter, oil, rear wiper arm and blade. That was only £32.62, that's not bad, is it? Some labour, which took my total to £182.94. Add that in. We've got £70 for a valet, £15 for number plates, £15 for a wheel trim. I think that was it. I need to order a parcel shelf actually. I haven't done that yet. I expect I'll get one for about 40 quid, so I'll put £40 on for that. Now, the bill with Jimmy, bear with me. He is very good, Jim, he does look after me. So, remove front and rear bumpers, remove flaking clear coat and prime, then paint both bumpers. Remove rust on the near side front wing, I'd forgotten about that, repaint and blend, and then also repaint the near side sill. Buff, polish, full vehicle and general clean. My total there was £560. So cheers, Jim, because you've done an awful lot of work there for £560. That takes my total to £1,382.94. 138294. So if I can get 2,995 for it, which I don't see why I shouldn't, that'll leave me a profit of around 1,600 quid, which is impressive. This is the good thing with these kinds of cars. If you get them right, which most of the time you can because they rarely go wrong, they're such great little earners. If you sell a dozen of those a month, you've got a decent little business. So I think that's about it, guys. Another little impressive turnaround for you all. I'm over the moon with it. So where should we go now? I think we'll head back to work and I shall park this up on the forecourt. Put a nice sticker in the window. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. And yeah, cheers guys. See you in the next one.